Good evening, everyone, and welcome to the live stream. So listen, ladies and gentlemen, okay, quite a few people have been asking me questions today. In fact, first of all, guys, we're starting this live stream a little bit different. Normally, I would start TikTok first, and I'll come on to you guys on YouTube and X. Then I would go on to after an hour, then I will close that down. But listen, guys, quite a few people have been asking me and talking about wild stuff, guys, okay? So the crux of this live stream is going to be UK crossbow sales rocket. Now, as a security consultant, as a security provider, I want to talk to you guys about what I actually think is the real application of those things and where I think you guys should be putting your money. But listen, guys, if you're watching this later on or afterwards, I'm going to be talking about that after the 60-minute mark. So if you want to jump forwards to the 60-minute mark, it might not actually be the 60-minute mark. It might be like 67 minutes or whatever. I'm gonna click TikTok on in a minute, guys. Okay, and we're gonna start talking about this, but I have to be very careful what I can and cannot say on TikTok, guys. Okay, so Grant Baxter is just jumping up and saying, should they not be banned? Right, guys, listen, I'm going to be talking about crossbows, okay? I'm going to be talking about crossbow sales in the United Kingdom, okay, guys? And I am going to give you guys my honest opinion on where I think that's going. I mean, I'll give it you in a sentence right now, guys, okay? In the United Kingdom, maybe this is more than a sentence. In the United Kingdom, I think the application of crossbows is limited, and I would say put your money into other things. But guys, listen, after 60 minutes, I am going to come on and talk about that more. Right, let me just hit the TikTok now, guys, and then we'll talk about that. We'll open the live stream and we'll talk, and we will talk about this. But the crux of this live stream is going to be UK is preparing. Mainstream media articles are talking about it now. Crossbow sales in the United Kingdom have skyrocketed, and we are going to talk about that. And are you ready? And listen, guys, it's not even me speculating anymore. This stuff is happening. So let me hit the TikTok, and then I'll jump into character. Where are we? In fact, I need to do some things on the screen first. Give me a second. I need to hit that one. Give me a second, guys. I'll just hit these buttons on the screen. Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to the live stream, guys. I don't usually come on this late. It's a little bit late tonight. I've had quite a few things to do, but I wanted to get on this live stream, and I wanted to talk about what's happened today. I wanted to talk about a couple of articles I've seen in the mainstream media about Britain is preparing. Britain is getting prepared. People in the United Kingdom are getting ready for the inevitable. Look, guys, I don't even want to say it's my speculation, my opinion, my analysis anymore, because these things are happening now. Protests. I'm going to call them protests for the purpose of this live stream, guys. When I say protest, that's going to encompass that's going to be a wide arching thing, guys. Okay, I'm just going to say protest because otherwise I'm going to be forever and people are going to be getting semantic. So protests, guys. Okay, protests are breaking out all over the United Kingdom, England, Northern Ireland, Scotland, Wales, Southern Ireland. They're breaking out all over Europe, Spain, France. Everywhere's protesting, and there's one common denominator with these protests, guys. Okay, one common denominator. But what I want to talk about now, guys, is you guys, you right there. Yeah, I know. You're probably laid in bed, you've had a pizza, maybe you've just got in from the pub. Maybe you are at the pub, I don't know. But I want to talk about, are you ready? Because I've seen a few articles in the mainstream media today, guys, okay? Britain preparing. Britons are arming themselves with crossbows. Britons are arming themselves with crossbows. Britons are arming themselves with bows and arrows. Guys, listen, I do want to talk about that today. For those of you watching on TikTok, I have to be very careful about the wording, what I talk about. But listen, guys, I am going to be talking about that today. We are going to be talking about the direction of travel in the United Kingdom. And listen, guys, it's not me anymore, is it? It's not just me saying this anymore. It's not just other people saying this. It's, things are happening now, and you can see them. You can see these things with your own eyes. Let's not forget, guys, the 6-week holidays has only just started. Kids off school, mums and dads off mums and dads off school. Well, do you know what? Yeah, mums and dads off school as well. Because let's face it, guys, if you're a single parent, looking after your child is a full-time job. Let's not forget that. Right, I'm just going to jump up and get some comments straight away on the tickers. Good evening, everyone. Good evening, everyone. Everyone for joining. Lots of people joining on the TikTokers. Lots of people joining on the lots of people. Oh, hang on. Joanne Fisher, listen guys, I think this is the best comment of the night. Joanne Fisher is saying, hi, nearly missed you. I was in the garden listening to Oasis. Oh, Joanne Fisher, what a fantastic evening you must be having inside the garden listening to Oasis. I genuinely can't think of a better evening. Look guys, let's just backtrack a little bit. Let's just backtrack a little bit, all right? Let me talk about let me talk about the conversation I had with my mum. And I know I've said this a few times. It's unbelievable where we are at the moment in the United Kingdom, guys. It is, I mean, let's just take the last 6 months. Let's just take the last 12 months. Like presidential assassinations, scandal after scandal after scandal, Epstein files, traces back to the British royal family. Insanity that's happening right now, guys. Wars in Europe, wars in the Middle East, and I mean real wars now, guys. I mean actual real wars. It's unbelievable what's happening, guys. And I think we kind of we are desensitized to that sort of stuff, guys. We are not living in normal times. Anyway, let me jump up and get these comments, guys. Give me a second. Good morning. Good evening. We've got Pana Dizawana. I think I'm pronouncing that right. We've got Anna McGarth. We've got Claire. We've got Anna McGarth again. Says she likes live. We've got buffering. We've got users. We've got Tam. We've got Jake. We've got Kat. We've got John. Guys, there's so many people. The chat's open. I'm not sure if I can. Read. I may or may not be able to read all the comments. Google is saying, get your water guns ready for the summer of carnage. Listen, guys, Britons are preparing in absolute droves. I'm going to give you guys a few. My screens are closed. My computer, you know how annoying it is, guys, when your computer decides to update. Google it over on TikTok is saying, get your water guns ready. Yeah, get your water guns ready. Evening, Rocky is saying, evening, mate. John is saying, Nostradamus. Nelly Betts is saying, I'm ready. Right, just a quick one. Nelly Betts, listen, guys, Nelly Betts on TikTok just put a comment saying, I'm ready. For you, Nelly Betts, what does that mean? For I'm ready, what does that mean, guys? What does that mean to you? Sorry, Nelly Betts, direct question to you. I can't see your picture, but I think Nelly Betts is a lady, or a girl, or a woman, or a female. Nelly Betts is saying, I'm ready. Nelly Betts, for you, what does that mean? What does that actually mean? Polly is saying, we can all see what's going on. Don't give them oh, that's controversial. Don't give them oxygen. JTTJ is saying, protest in Epping again tomorrow. Yes, they are, guys. And look, ladies and gentlemen, like I keep saying, these big protests, we're going to get 1 million people. And look, guys, I'm getting quite a lot of flack for this at the moment. I'm getting quite a lot of flack for this at the moment. People messaging me saying, oh, but Sean, how can you be negative over? So look, guys, I'm not negative about anything. I tell you guys what's going to happen. Now, if you don't like that, that's fine. Don't complain at me for telling you the outcome, all right? The outcome is the outcome. I'm telling you the outcome before it happens. What I keep saying, ladies and gentlemen, what I always say on this channel, what I've said so many times, if change comes to the United Kingdom, and I believe it will, it's going to be at local level. There's not going to be one guy standing up here saying, follow me once more onto the breach, dear friends, or stack the wall with our English dead. Nobody's going to be getting Shakespearean, especially people who've got limited amounts of charisma. So we saw this protest today at Dover, which is what I got a lot of negativity from. So, for those of you who don't know, we was live streaming today. We was talking about the protest in Dover. I was looking through open source social media, and it did look like it was a bit of a flop, guys. Okay, you know, this guy, he said that there was going to be 16 million people turn up. I mean, I struggle to see that there was over 500. And listen, that again, guys, look. I'm with you guys. I'm with you guys. I want the same thing, but we've got to be realistic. We've got to have, in the military, you do something called individual application of fire. And what they say when you do individual application of fire, guys, listen, if there's anyone military, just put in the comments and let me know. So when you're doing individual application of fire, one of the things you get taught when you're doing what I just said is, do not try and shoot at something that you can't hit. It's a waste of ammo. It's a waste of resources. It's not feasible. So, you know, I think a lot of people need to understand that concept, guys, okay? People need to understand that concept. Only go for what you can hit. Hang on, guys. Let me get some more comments. Emma is saying, I can see you are always being right, Sean. Been watching you for ages. Thank you so much, Emma661. Joshua Harrison says, did you hear about what happened in Heaton Park in Manchester? No, I didn't, but you know what? I will have a look in a minute. JTTJ is saying, Tommy Robinson London protest, Saturday, 13th of September. Yes. Tommy Robinson is the only person, or one of the only, do you know what? I'm going to say he's the only person, actually. Tommy Robinson can bring those numbers, guys. He can bring those crowds. He's got that thing about him, hasn't he? I don't know what it is. I don't know what it is. It's like, I don't want to be negative to him. In fact, you know what? This is not negative to him. This is certainly not negative to Tommy. I mean, he was talking about things when people were, you know, the woman, you guys have all seen the image, you guys have all seen the footage of, like, he got, like, Tommy Robinson, he's on this talk show, and to be honest, I actually watched this when it was live, and he's on this talk show, and this woman's calling him a racist, and Tommy's saying, what have I ever said that's a racist? And she's saying, you're a racist, and he's saying, okay, fine, I get that, what have I said that's racist? And she's saying, I don't need to explain to myself to you because you're a racist. And he's saying, yeah, I get that, but like, what have I said that's racist? Well, somebody did a stitch together of that woman. She's actually had threats now from the people that she was trying to protect for the very same reasons that she was negative against Tommy. You see where I'm going with this, guys? But yeah, you know, but listen, guys, okay, I wish Tommy had leave the United Kingdom and live his life out with his family. He's done enough already, guys. He's done enough already. And I'll be quite clear about that. But nobody draws numbers like he does. And what I will say, guys, about these marches, these protests, you know, he draws the numbers. Now, and this was, sorry, I've just been waffling and the comment came down. So yeah, so the 13th of September, Tommy Robinson's ordering, do you know what, he probably is ordering, he's organising a protest on the 13th of September in London. Now, does it not strike anyone as a little bit suspicious that he's being let out of jail just at the right time so he can gather those crowds? You see where I'm going, guys? You see where I'm going? Right, guys, there's so many comments on TikTok. I do apologise. Linda Lou is saying trains to Dover were cancelled, so it was good that so many people got there. Oh, right, okay, Linda Lou. Listen, guys, I used to live in Dover. I used to live in Connaught Barracks in Dover. It's closed. Guys, let me just jump off screen a minute and carbonate myself. I'm just going to jump off screen a minute and carbonate myself. Give me a second. Sorry, ladies and gentlemen, but I am back. Indeed, I am. Listen, guys, I've got to admit, I'm looking at the screens now, and the cameras I'm using, the TikTok camera, is absolutely fantastic. Listen, guys, this is a controversial comment. So, Alexander Cameron is saying Tommy Robinson is going to create a civil war in the UK, or should I say Israel, right? Listen, guys, okay, we've got to understand here right now, okay? I take all these arguments and I understand what's going on behind the scenes. I really do, guys. I understand. There's a lot of things you just can't say. There's a lot of things that are very strange. When you start doing these videos, and me and Sarah noticed this, and we were like, what? So Alexander Cameron, I'm speaking to you direct now, Alexander Cameron, and anybody else who understands what I'm talking about, okay? I've got the comment pinned. There are certain words that if you say them on social media, your video will get like 1 or 2 views, and you're like, why is that? Why is that? Why is that? When you mention certain words, you get a few, you get like 1 or 2 views. But look, guys, let's be clear. Right now, we need to deal with the clear and present threat, and the clear and present threat in the United Kingdom is the masses, and the masses. Do you know what? I'm going to say the protests, but the protests are a symptom of a problem. Now, as a government, as a police force, as Keir Starmer, what do? Do you either deal with the symptom or do you deal with the cause? I personally would deal with the cause. You stop the cause, the symptoms go away. And that's the reality, guys, okay? Like, you stop the cause and the symptoms go away. You see where I'm going with this, guys? Guys, look, we're going up to the Lake District. Where we're going, like next week, maybe, or the week after. I can't remember what date is it. I don't even know what date is it. But pretty soon, guys, we're going up to the Lake District. We're giving our bug out. We're giving our bug out car a little bit of a run around, and we are going up to the Lake District, guys. I don't know how I'm going to feel. I do not know how I'm going to feel if I drive past this mosque. I don't think I'm going to drive past this mosque, but it's just like, guys, come on, the Lake District. We don't need any more mosques in the United Kingdom, guys, okay? We need more churches. We need more Christianity. Let's not forget, guys, okay? Let's not forget that Christianity came first. Christianity came first. Everything else is a, you know how you get movies? You know how you get movies and you have a fantastic first movie? With the caveat of Batman, right? The Christian Bale Batman. So Christian Bale Batman to one side, Lord of the Rings to one side. Let's put them to one side, all right? Yeah. But you know how you get a movie and it's fantastic, and then they try to cash in and do a second movie, and then they try to cash in and do a third movie. It's kind of like religion, guys, okay? But Christianity is the first. Right, guys, listen, there's so many comments. Emma661 is saying there's always been protests. So what do you think is the problem now? Just asking. Oh, okay. So Emma, hang on, let me get this. So Emma is saying, well, I've just read the question. I will say the problem now, guys, is the mass amounts of uncontrolled migration to the United Kingdom. So if you're sat there and you think this is going to be over, if you think something's going to change, I'm sorry, it's not. It's not going to change. If you think that these people that have come to our country now are somehow going to leave, I'm sorry. It's tough love, guys, all right? You need to accept this, all right? Those people that have come here illegally, they're here to stay, guys. Whether you like that or not, they are here to stay now. And that is the reality, guys, okay? That is the reality. There's no way to get rid of these people now, guys. I mean, what are we going to do? Literally, what are we going to do? We're going to send the army in? Not a chance. We're going to send the police in. They don't have the numbers. When we're sitting in a situation in the United Kingdom where we have more migrants in hotels than military and barracks, kind of a negative feeling. Joshua Harrison on TikTok is saying this is all part of the Great Reset, hence why nothing is being done. Look, Joshua Harrison, I don't know if that's right or not, but what I do know is the problems that we have in the United Kingdom could be stopped within 6 hours. If I was the Prime Minister, guys, look, last year, I did a video. It's pinned to the top of my. It's pinned to the top of my TikTok. Last year, guys, I did a video on how Raven would stop uncontrolled. And again, guys, this has been going on for It's going on for years. How much more can we take? Listen, guys, at some point this will stop. So last year, I think maybe a year ago this month, I did a video how I would stop uncontrolled. I think it was the 27th of this month last year. How I would stop this, guys. Okay, go and check that video out. My opinion has not changed. Okay, my opinion has not changed. The government, if they wanted to, they could. If the government wanted to, they could stop this migration with the boats. At least, they could stop this within 6 hours. Now they're not. So the reason that they're not, on a rudimental concept, means that they don't want to. Now, if you want to go down that rabbit hole, as in why they don't want to, guys, that is a terrifying, terrifying thing. Right, guys, there are so many comments, guys. There are so many comments. I'm struggling to keep up here. Paula is saying they are years ahead. Don't feed them. Don't feed who, Polly? Don't feed who? Polly, who are we talking about? Don't feed. Who are we talking about? Don't feed. MLR 420 is saying we had a car go on a sidewalk, hit people waiting for a food truck and crowd down further on the sidewalk. Right, MLR 420, are you in the United States? Oh, hang on, I've got a friend in California. In fact, he's moved to Texas. So I've got a friend who used to live in California. He's moved to Texas now. Let me text him, actually. I'm gonna ask for an update from the United States. Give me a second, guys. Give me a second. Wow, it's been a while since I texted him. Where's he gone? Where's he gone? There he is. Yeah, sorry guys. I've just asked him for an update from the United States. I've not spoken to him for a while. Hopefully we'll get that back. Oh, hang on, I've got an update from so my friend, I've just got an update from my friend in Ukraine. He just texted me now. I'm not going to mention his wife's name. He just said my wife is in London. My wife is moving through London at the moment. She's in shock. She feels like she's in Morocco or India. Sorry, guys. Right, anyway, where are we? Right, I'm going to jump over to YouTube, guys, okay? Just going to jump over to YouTube for a quick. So Matt on YouTube is... In fact, guys, listen, we've been on for 20 minutes. Can you do me a real big favour, ladies and gentlemen? Because I am on here on a Saturday night. If you're watching on TikTok, I mean, honestly, guys, the visual feast that you guys have on... Do you know what, guys? I'm just throwing this out there, guys, okay? The visual feast... The visual feast that you guys have, like, I mean, honestly, look at this. Look at the ambient light and everything. It's fantastic. Guys, can you do me a real big favor? Like, comment, subscribe, share, whatever the buttons are that help this channel grow, guys. Wherever those buttons are, guys, can you do that for me? Because it really helps me out when you guys do that. It doesn't cost you anything. Literally just a few buttons for you guys, and it really helps me out so much, guys. So I really do appreciate it. Every time somebody follows me, every time somebody subscribes, every time somebody likes, comments, subscribes, shares, all those things, ladies and gentlemen, really does help me out. So the comment here, guys, from Matt over on YouTube is, I think at protests, we all need to wear similar clothes, like a uniform. We will look like more organized, and look like a team. Black top with a red cross, maybe a white top with a red cross. I'm for a white top with a red cross, the cross of St. George. And then Tracy is saying, Starmer is a total globalist. He wants to be Bill Gates and Larry Fink's best boy. you know what, Tracy? Your wording there is fantastic. Get his pat on the head. Yeah. I mean, listen, guys, nobody can say right now in the United Kingdom that we are not going through crazy times. But it's not just the United Kingdom, guys. Look, I've got friends in Poland, I've got friends in Ukraine, I've got friends in America, really good friends as well. And everybody says the same. Things are not right, ladies and gentlemen. Things are not right. Things are going from bad to worse, and it doesn't look like there's an end to it. Right. Liberty. Right. Okay, hang on, guys. Okay, Liberty. Right, hang on. Let me pick this comment. So Liberty is saying, what is the UK preparing for? I've just joined. Right, Liberty, thank you so much for putting me onto that. Let me move the screens about a little bit here. I opened up I need to open up Chrome. Hang on, guys. So I was looking at some articles earlier on today, and it was saying that ridiculous things are happening in the United Kingdom. So believe it or not, guys, crossbow sales in the United Kingdom have gone bonkers. Hang on, let me restore pages. Yes, I think I'm good. I think we're good. Let me restore those pages. Crossbow sales in the United Kingdom, prepping gear in the United Kingdom, survival gear in the United Kingdom. People are going bonkers buying this stuff. And guys, listen, when we jump over, after an hour on TikTok, we're going to jump over to YouTube. The algorithm on TikTok, it won't let me talk about certain things. And you guys know how many live streams I get banned, so I just can't talk about these things on TikTok. But we will jump over to YouTube and X, and we'll talk about those, and we'll talk about them in a little bit depth. But I'm going to talk about where you should be putting your money, all right? Where you should be putting your money. And when I talk about this, I don't want to sound like a douchebag, guys, but I'm not talking about this as someone with a humble opinion. I have a relatively non-humble opinion on this. I've been doing it so many years. I've been every facet. I've been every aspect of this, right, guys? And if you want to protect yourselves and your family, and you've got, hang on. Right, yeah. If you've got extra money to spend, guys, and you want to spend your money on something to protect yourselves, okay, we're going to be talking about that when we jump over to X, guys, okay? So forgive me if I can't go into too much detail about it on TikTok, but what I will say on you, because we're on TikTok, guys, okay, I'll say things like CCTV cameras. They're relatively cheap. CCTV cameras, security lights, protecting your own neighborhood, guys, okay? Start a Facebook group, start a group chat on WhatsApp. You know what I'm trying to say, guys, don't you? Start a group chat on WhatsApp. These sort of things will help, guys, okay? Because communication is key. When communication breaks down, everything breaks down. But ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, if you're listening to this right now, you kind of are the resistance. You need to start thinking about interdependence is dependence. So what do I mean by that? Gone are the times, guys. Gone are the times where we can lock our doors and hide behind our windows and think, I hope the police come. Because, ladies and gentlemen, whether you believe it or not, there's going to be a time this year where the police are not going to come. Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, let me jump off screen and carbonate myself a little bit more. I'll be right back. Look at that screen, guys. Honestly, look at the lighting. Look at the lighting there. I've done that. That is fantastic. Honestly, guys, I mean, I astound myself sometimes. And who's that good-looking guy? Who's that there? Who's that good-looking guy? Yeah, that's Raven. That's Raven. Who we're all listening to. And I'm back like magic. I'm back like magic with my hair a mess. Right, ladies and gentlemen, guys, listen, we are triple streaming today right now, guys. We're on TikTok, we are on YouTube, and we are streaming also on X, okay? My name is exactly the same on all of them, The Real Raven 1, okay, guys, The Real Raven 1. So if you want to go and look on YouTube, if you want to go and look on X, the name is The Real Raven 1, guys, okay? I think I've got the same picture on all of them. I'm just going to jump up, guys, and get some of these clients. Googly, Googly's being pessimistic here. Googly is saying we won't make it to 20. Hang on, let me pin this. So Googly on TikTok is saying we won't make it to 2029 with Labour. Full stop. And then he's saying world economy will collapse with China versus US, UK, and Taiwan. Yeah, guys, look, I mean, we're not living in normal times right now, okay? We're not living in normal times. And I think we're not living in normal times in the United Kingdom. We're not living in normal times in the world in general. And I think a litmus test for this is, what I guess I've just said, the amount of people in the United Kingdom who are now preparing. Now, preparing for what is the question? Right, let me just open these up, guys, okay? I've just got some screens I need to open up, some browsers. Got that one, I'll just read you these headlines in a second, guys, okay? Listen, ladies and gentlemen, okay, when we jump over to X, guys, okay, we are going to be talking about if you've got money. I know not everyone has, but people are spending a lot of money at the moment in the United Kingdom on things like crossbows and projectiles and stuff. Guys, look, although those things are legal, and again, whether they're legal or those things are legal, so there's nothing wrong with buying them. But I think, do you know what? I don't just think, I know that you could put your money in better places. So we are going to be talking about them. But let me just give you these headlines real quick, guys, okay? So this is a headline from The Guardian. This is a month old, guys, okay? So you can imagine where things have progressed to now. People are buying crossbows faster than I'd like to see. How prepping went mainstream in Britain. Meet Britain's doomsday preppers stockpiling for World War III. Brits are warned to prepare for Britons are warned to prepare 72-hour survival kit. Every item UK households need in their 72-hour survival kit. What's the next one? I never worried about prepping for the apocalypse, but then I spoke to survivalists. Yeah, guys, listen, once you put your feet, like I'll tell you the direction of travel. Everybody will go in this direction of travel right now, okay? People will be asleep. People will be asleep, all right? That's the reality. At first, you're asleep. I was asleep. No, I wasn't. I was never asleep. I always knew. People will be asleep to start with. They then wake up and they're like, oh, I need to get a survival kit. So they'll go to the store, they'll get a survival kit. They'll think that's fine. Then the more they think about it, the more they'll think, oh, a survival kit, I really need more in that. All right, okay. I need to have like a few days food and water in my house. They'll put 3 days food and water in their house. They'll get to 3 weeks and they'll think, right, okay, where do I go with this? And ultimately, at the end of that line, everybody will become a farmer. That's where you go, guys. That is literally that is the direction of travel of everyone that takes this seriously anyway, because ultimately, guys, okay, there's only so much food, water, and resources that you can hide under your bed. There's an unlimited abundance of amount of food that you can grow using the soil, using the sunlight. And again, guys, listen, I don't know about you guys, but since this Afghan thing happened, and I've been talking to you guys, and I've been saying, listen, I genuinely, hang on, let me see if I've got an update. No. When you guys were messaging me and you guys were saying, oh, Sean, is the government sending in, is the government smuggling in foreign soldiers? And I was like, no. That's highly unlikely, ladies and gentlemen. That's highly unlikely. Listen, guys, if you've sent me that message, please put it in the comment. But remember when you guys were sending me those messages and I was saying, listen, ladies and gentlemen, I've seen these messages. You know, I know that you guys are concerned that the government are smuggling in soldiers from another country. And I did videos. I'll be honest about it, guys. You know, and again, with the information I had, I was right in what I said. Listen, guys, when I give you guys, you know, I've not got a crystal ball. I give you real-time analysis with my opinion. I'm right a lot more than I'm wrong. But on this occasion, I'll hold my hands up, guys. I'll say I was wrong. I'm big enough to do that. Wow, was I wrong? So it turns out, all you conspiracy theorists who had your tinfoil hats on, you guys were right. The British government are bringing in foreign soldiers and putting them in hotels. That's on the mainstream media right now, guys. So, you know, I'm not taking anything off the cards now. Like, straight away, I'm taking a step back. I'm thinking, right, stop, Sean, all right? Stop, all right? Let's not take anything off the cards now. I'm not saying that anything, I'll still say things are unlikely. But you see where we're going with this, guys. When people start to talk about things and you think they're ridiculously unlikely, and then it turns out to be true, what does that mean about the other stuff that's happening? You know, it's just bonkers, guys, okay? Listen, the United Kingdom are preparing. I don't know what we're preparing for. It does look like people are buying crossbows. People are buying 72-hour survival kits. People are spending money on this, guys, okay? Listen, I would much rather be doing videos on aliens and crop circles and alternate dimensions and new physics that's being explored, because ultimately, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, mums and dads, aunts and uncles, brothers and sisters, hamsters and goldfish, I don't know about the goldfish, I would much rather a world, and I always say this, guys, okay? I always say this. I don't say it enough, actually. That contradicted itself, isn't it? I normally say this quite a lot, but I think I've not said it for quite a while. I would much rather a world. Let's look at humans, okay? Let's look at humans for a second, okay? We are apex predators, all right? We are apex predators, guys. We've got eyes in the front of our heads. It's built into us to be competitive. If we weren't competitive as a species, we'd still be foraging for nuts and berries under a tree. We would. That's the reality, okay? So I get that we are competitive. I get that we are aggressive. I get that we want our culture, our society, our way of life. Now, whichever one of those ways of life you guys want to identify with, that's totally fine by me. But we all want our way of life to be supreme, to be the best. I would much rather a world where we are competing over the infinite resources of space. I would, guys. I would, yeah, I would. I would much rather than us fighting wars in ridiculous countries and, you know, and sons and husbands not going home to their families. Because, guys, honestly, I've seen too much of that. I have. I've probably seen more. I've probably seen more than most, and I don't need to see any more. But that sort of stuff can be negated. If we say, right, do you know what, we're going to stop all these wars, Lockheed, Raytheon, BAE Systems, Boeing, you know, all you big prime defense contractors, instead of making stuff that goes kaboom and hurts people, why don't you just make stuff that goes into space and we can go and get asteroids, we can go and put a base on the moon, we can mine helium-3, we can put solar panels around the sun. That's the future. That's the future that I want and believe could be a reality. But unfortunately, guys, you know, we have got what we've got because it's low vibrational energy that's pushing people around, and people just buy it all the time. Anyway, sorry, guys. Sorry. Let me jump and get some of these comments. Richard McGall is saying Russian paratroopers could easily invade Shetlands or Orkney Islands, have airfields use... all right, interesting comment there. I'm going to pin this, actually, because it is a good comment. So they could invade, yes, but they wouldn't last very long because Britain would take those islands back. So the Russian paratroopers, or VDV, Vodka, Jean, I'm vodka. Don't worry about it. I like drinking vodka. So the vodka, or Russian paratroopers, as Richard Richard McDougall is saying. Sorry, I was trying to struggle with your name there. So Richard McDougall is saying Russian paratroopers could easily invade the Shetland Islands, and there's quite a few islands off northern coast of Scotland. Yes, they could. Britain would take those back relatively easily. But I think this brings into mind a bigger question about NATO Article 5. So NATO Article 5, everybody claims it's a fantastic thing, and everybody claims NATO Article 5 is like this, it's like this shield, it's this protective shield. Guys, listen, NATO Article 5 is no shield to anyone, okay? Now, I'll give you the example that Richard McDougall's given. Let's just say, for example, Russian and I do think this is unlikely. In fact, guys, listen, I don't know, maybe it is likely. I do think this is unlikely, though, as I'm sitting here. Let's just say, for example, that Russian paratroopers do, guys, this is just a hypothetical thing, okay? Russian paratroopers do take the Shetland Islands. They go in en masse, take the Shetland Islands. They have a fake election. The people of the Shetland Islands are like, yeah, we all want to be Russian. Let's just say that happens, guys. Let's just say that happens. Let's just say that happens within the space of 48 hours. Okay. Let's rewind a little bit and let's understand what. Let's rewind a little bit and understand what. Let's rewind a little bit and let's understand what NATO Article 5 actually says. So NATO Article 5, which everybody, and listen, guys, when I used to be in those circles, when I used to be in that sphere, I used to talk to some like well-known politicians that you would all know, and I would say, yeah, this will happen. Yeah, but sure, that would be an Article 5 issue. I said, oh, mate, have you read Article 5? Oh, yes, I've read Article 5. It says that an attack on one nation would be deemed an attack on all member states. I like, yeah, have you read the rest of it? You know, and they don't really go on to that, but the rest of NATO Article 5 actually says an attack on one member state is deemed an attack on all member states. Yes, admitted, there's a full stop after that. Then it says the security. I may be slightly wrong on the wording here, guys, but it says something like the NATO Security Council will convene and take whatever action necessary to restore peace and stability to that region. Okay, let's just think of that, right? So, how long is it going to take for the NATO Security Council to convene? And then when they convene, they're going to say, right, we are going to bring peace and stability to that region. So let's just go back to the original example, okay? Russian Vodka, they move into the Shetland Islands and they overtake the Shetland Islands. They have a vote. Everybody votes overwhelmingly to become part of Russia. There's no fighting. So how can NATO bring peace and stability to a region that already has peace and stability? You see where I'm going with that, guys? It's obsolete already. From the get-go, NATO is already obsolete with that wording. Southwest is saying we need to take back our own control and work as a community like we used to. Yeah, I think you're right, Southwest. You know, I think people need to I think you're right. You know, I think people need to take back ownership. I think it is. I'm going to go with ownership. You know, like when you own something, you take responsibility for it. So people need to take ownership, i.e., take responsibility for their own region, for their own area of responsibility. Guys, listen, do not give £50 or do not donate any money. Do you know what, guys? You can do with your money whatever you want. All right, you can do with your money. You can do whatever you want. Okay. If you're giving your money to someone to hope that they're going to provide security for you, it's never going to happen, ladies and gentlemen. It's never going to happen. All right, it's never going to happen. Okay. If we think that somebody in government's got your back, it's just not the case, guys. It's not the case. We've seen this now. There's many examples in the United Kingdom where this is just not the case, okay? So what I'm saying to you guys, okay, is everybody needs to take their own security, take it as a personal responsibility. Hannah is saying, love not hate 68. Hannah, can you contextualize that? So Hannah on TikTok, I'm gonna pin that. Hannah UK UGC. I used to work for a company called UGC. I'm assuming it's not the right one. In fact, it's definitely not the same one. Well, I don't know. Maybe it's Hannah. Have you ever worked for a company called UGC? It wasn't a British company. So Hannah is saying, love not hate 68. Yeah. Can you contextualize that, please, Hannah? Because I don't know what that means, but I'd love your input. I'm not sure what that means. Hang on, guys. I'm just scrolling up through comments. Richard is saying it would be logical for any future UK attacks. Could UK defend them? Would NATO defend? Right. Okay. So, right. I think here Richard McDougall has asked this question before I answered. Actually, let me pin this. So Richard McDougall obviously was McDougall. Am I saying your name right? I hope I am. And if I'm not, I'm sorry. So Richard McDougall here is saying it would be logical for any future UK attacks. Could the UK defend them? He's talking about the Shetland Islands and the Orkney Islands, the islands off the north coast of Scotland. Yes, I do think they could. An island of that size, guys, you literally all you have to do is just, guys, listen, just send the parachute regiment in. They would just literally send, like, I don't know. Let's just say that you had 10,000. Let's just say that you had 10,000 Russian Spetsnaz in the Shetland Islands. If you sent in like 3 paratroopers, they'd be able to clear them out within like a couple of weeks or something. If you send 6, it'd be a couple of days. Yeah, guys, the proximity of the Shetland Islands to the United Kingdom make them relatively easily defendable. Remember, if you're having to fight a war a long way away, which the Russians would be, the Shetland Islands become very hard to administer. You need a lot of resources. You need a lot of food, water, ammunition, all those sorts of things. And I just think not just Russia, maybe an enemy nation, if they did try and jump into the the Shetland Islands, yes, I think they'd be able to take them relatively quickly. Anyone who studied military history, taking things, it's a relatively easy thing. Holding it's the difficult thing, guys. Okay, holding it's the difficult thing. UK veterans over on TikTok, guys. Listen, I'm going to jump over to the YouTube in a minute, guys. I'm going to jump over to YouTube. I've just looked and there's quite a few comments jumped over on YouTube. I will get them in a second. UK veterans is saying, I saw a video the other day about some country having rocket launchers in. Hang on, where's this gone? Hang on, guys. The chat's gone bonkers. Let me try and get this right. I need to close that, move that up. Right, where was this? Right, UK veterans, I think I've missed your comment, mate. I'm trying to find your comment, UK veterans. I'm scrolling up now to try and find it. I've got 6 seconds to do it. Oh no! I think I may have lost it. Right. No, I've got it. I've got it, UK veterans. Literally, like a Christian. Sorry. What's his name? Is it Christian Nolan? I think it's Christian. Is it Christian Nolan who does the movies, the director, like a Christian Nolan movie? I got it at the last second. So UK veterans here is saying UK Veterans here, sorry, is saying, every time somebody comments, it jumps up. UK Veterans is saying, I saw a video the other day about some country having rocket launchers in shipping containers. Guys, listen, I've done quite a few videos about this, guys, okay? And it's not even a thing right now. Nobody's even talking about it. Nobody even wants to know. The future of naval warfare, ladies and gentlemen, is asymmetric naval warfare. It's not even a thing. Nobody's even coined it yet. It doesn't even have a Wikipedia page yet. Ladies and gentlemen, asymmetric naval warfare will come. So you know how everybody's laughing at Putin and they're laughing at, oh, Putin, you and your aircraft carrier that's diesel and it needs a tug. So you know all those people that are laughing, yeah? They're not going to be laughing when like a US strike carrier group gets taken down by a civilian shipping vessel, or any vessel that can carry an internet. What are they like? I think they're the big ones are like 40 feet by 8 feet by 9 feet. You know the shipping containers, those big metal shipping container things? Well, there's quite a few companies now that sell missile systems that are placed in the back of those. So riddle me this, riddle me that, Batman. Imagine, all right, how close do you think you could get a Russian aircraft carrier to Britain? How close do you think you could get one to Britain? I think it's like 200 miles, but in some places it's different. So what I'm saying here is, guys, okay, in international waters, there's a certain line you can't cross, and if you cross it, you'll get sank as a military vessel. And that's like, you know, that's fair game. How close do you think you could get a cargo ship? And how many of those cargo ships do you think could have missiles on? That's where I'm going, guys. You know, I've been talking about this for quite a while. Southwest is saying, what did he say? I don't know. Christopher Nolan. Sorry, guys. What did I say? I don't remember. Maybe I said someone else. Yeah, Christopher Nolan, guys. Christopher Nolan, not whatever I said before. Mickey, right, let me pin this, guys. So I do need to keep doing this. Okay, so Mickey is saying, what are we preparing for? I don't know. But Britons are preparing in the United Kingdom in masses, guys, okay? So I'm just going to read you these, headlines, guys, okay? Hang on. People are buying, guys, listen, I'm just reading you headlines now from articles. So this is from The Guardian. People are buying crossbows faster than I'd like. How prepping in Britain went mainstream. That's from a month ago. Next article. Not loading for some reason. Not loading. Meet Britain's doomsday preppers stockpiling for World War III. That is from the Metro. That is from last month. For some reason, my computer's been ridiculously slow. Maybe it's because of all the windows I've got. But you can see the theme, guys, I've got now. You know, Britain's told to prepare 72-hour survival kit. Should I prepare for the apocalypse like a proper survivalist? Oh, this is, I don't think I have this one open, guys. I don't think I've spoken about this one. Oh yeah, I did. I never worried about preparing for the apocalypse, but then I spoke to survivalists. I mean, what is a survivalist now, guys? What is a survivalist? As the doomsday, I'm reading this, guys, from the Independent, okay? As the doomsday clock is set 1 second closer to midnight. That song is in the by Iron Maiden. 2 minutes to midnight. This is an article by Charlotte Christ. Sorry, hang on. I'll start again. As the doomsday clock is set 1 second closer to midnight and war rages on worldwide, meets the doomsday. Oh, Charlotte Christ meets the meets the people prepping for the end of civilization. Guys, look, I don't like. you know, listen, listen, guys, I'll be quite clear. I don't class myself as one of these people who was like a prepper. In fact, if you knew me in my personal life, you know how many times I turn up to a lesson, to a class, to a briefing, and I've got none of the kit, and I just turn up and try and cuff it at the last minute. But I do think, well, do you know what? It's not just me that's thinking, okay? I'll just read you the first sentence, okay? After a recent play day, a dad friend of mine told me that he and his family would be able to survive off-grid during a national crisis. He's well prepared for it, and in fact, he stockpiles food in barns and frozen meat in freezers. I think that's where you're going to put frozen meat, along with canned goods, long-life milk, rice grains. He works in cybersecurity, and this is kind of one of the themes you get, guys. This is one of the themes you get. Anybody who works in security, and by security, I mean physical, cyber, and anybody who works in security. I don't mean like the people, although they may be the same. In fact, do you know what? I think they are going to be the same as well. Do you know what? I'm just going to put it out there. Anybody who works in security will say the same, because they obviously have that foresight to look at things are not right. Certainly people in cybersecurity, because they will know how many cyber attacks are actually happening. Certainly people who work in international security, diplomatic security, political security, ultra high net worth, UHNW, ultra high net worth people. Those people are preparing, guys, okay? And everybody knows, excuse me, everybody knows that we are only, we're only one click short of a shitstorm, guys, and everybody's going to have to take a little slice. Yeah, I hope I answered that question, guys. I hope I answered that question. UK Veterans is saying that frozen meat won't last for long. Yeah, it won't, guys. Listen, okay, but do you know what? Do you know what? It will last longer than not having it. It just makes me think. I can remember when I used to work in Baghdad. I had like I don't know. I had like my prepper's freezer. It was literally just full of meat, and I can remember coming back, and it was empty. And I was like, wow, I probably had like, I'm not just making this up, guys, okay? I probably had like 100 kilos of meat in there, probably 100 kilos, maybe even more. I said to my granddad, I said, Granddad, I said, where's everything gone out of the freezer? He said, we've eaten it. I said, what do you mean? You've eaten it? He said, we've eaten it. I said, why? Why have you eaten it? He said, it'd gone past its sell-by date. I said, yeah, but it's frozen. It doesn't matter. It's fine. It's frozen. He said, well, we're vetting it. Anyway, lessons learned, guys. Lessons learned. Oh, hang on, guys. There's people trying to scam me on my page. Give me a second, guys. I think we've got a scammer. Give me a second. I think we've got a scammer. Have we got a scammer? Is somebody trying to scam me on my thing? Oh, right. Thank you so much for that. Right. Henry David, I'm not even going to mention your name. Henry, all right, mate, I'm not going to block you. I'm just going to mute you for the live, all right, mate? You're not paying $5,000 to anyone, but good luck. Good luck. So I'm muting you for the live, but come back soon. Come back soon, mate. Good old Henry. Listen. God loves a trier. God loves a trier. God loves a trier. Thank you for putting me onto that, mate. Who put me onto that? Whoever it was who put me onto that. Thank you so much, Jeff. Thank you for that, mate. Thank you for that, mate. Right, Liberty is saying, do you think World War III will happen soon? So let me pin this. Liberty, I think that we are already in World War III. I do. Look at the United Kingdom right now. Look at the UK. It's like I think my mum said it right. I think my mum said it best, like a couple of days ago when I was talking to her. My mum said, I can't remember the exact word. She says, Sean, I've never known it as bad as this. And I'll talk about more about what she was actually saying and the advice I gave to my mum. And I'll be giving that to you guys on YouTube after. But she was saying, my mum, she was saying, like, I've never known it like this. I've never known people like this. I've never known such change to the United Kingdom, you know. And, you know, so just in the United Kingdom, I would say we are on the cusp of a mass civil movement. I've done videos before, and I've talked about how I think this is gonna be at local level. No one person is going to stand up and say, you know, follow me. You know, it's not going to happen. It's going to be an idea, and that idea is going to resonate. It might be a song. It might be a song. It might be a poem. It might be Rudyard Kipling's The Beginnings. It's going to be something, and that something is going to ignite people. And when those people are ignited, there's going to be no stopping it. And it's going to be a movement. It's going to happen at local level, guys, okay? So, and then you look at, like, Eastern Europe. If you go to Poland, if you go to Latvia, if you go to Lithuania, if you go to Finland, people are preparing. People know what's coming. They know that the inevitable must be upon them. Here in the United Kingdom, we are relatively sheltered from that, but we're not sheltered from the other stuff. In the Middle East, guys, the Middle East is bonkers right now. The Middle East is absolutely swizzled. So, you know, I don't know. It's just crackers, guys. It's just absolute crackers, the world at the moment. Grumbling Grunts is saying they didn't refer to World War II. Yeah, a good comment, actually, Grumbling Grunts. So Grumbling Grunts is saying, hang on, let me pin this. So Grumbling, guys, I'll jump onto you. I will jump onto YouTube in a second, guys, okay? Grumbling Grunts is saying they didn't refer to World War II as World War II during World War II. No, they didn't, guys. And they didn't refer to World War I as World War I neither. They only referred to these afterwards. You know, I think at some point, you know, it's going to be an inevitability. Somebody's going to have to start talking about it. But look, guys, the world is bonkers. Liberty is saying, yeah, but is the UK going to attack like, is the UK going to be attacked like in the UK? Right, okay, Liberty. Ladies and gentlemen, right, I will always prioritize this type of comment, okay? So Liberty is saying, basically what, I can't see your picture, Liberty. I don't know if you're male or female. I don't know if you're male or female, Liberty. But anyway, I think Liberty's a lady. Liberty in general will be classed as a lady. So I think you may be a lady. Anyway, so Liberty is saying, yeah, but is the UK going to be attacked? Yes, but no. So when people ask me this quite a lot and they say, Sean, is the UK going to be attacked? And I'm like, yes, but it's not going to be from those intercontinental ballistic missiles. It's not going to be, you know, there's not going to be swathes of like soldiers turning up on the shores. Actually, that's right. Let me rephrase that. There's not going to be swathes of soldiers turning up on the shores in the United Kingdom in uniform. You get what I'm saying? What I think the real clear and present risk to the United Kingdom is, it's the threat from subversion. It's the threat. It's a threat from within. It's a threat from people that we already have in the United Kingdom. Now, guys, I was talking about this over a year ago. Subversion, recruiting people from schools, recruiting impressionable people, recruiting people at a certain age, recruiting people of a certain demographic. And I would say, guys, that we have a massive demographic in the United Kingdom of, you know what, guys? I don't even think, guys, listen, I have to be very careful about my language on TikTok. You guys know how many videos I get banned. You do. You know how many times the live just goes off and then you're sending me messages. Sean, where did you go? The live stream just ended. Yeah, it's because I said something bad and I got my live stream done and I got a violation. So I have to be very careful with my words, guys, okay, on TikTok. I will be jumping over to YouTube and I will be talking more freely. I think the real threat, you know what? I'm not even going to say me anymore because it's not me, okay? Mainstream media are reporting that near-peer adversaries are recruiting from schools now, okay? They're recruiting kids from schools. And I would say, I would double on that and I would add to that and say those people who are recruiting from schools would also be recruiting from hotels. So the question was, Sean, will the UK get attacked? I don't think it's going to get attacked by long-range interballistic missiles. I think the real threat to the United Kingdom comes from within the United Kingdom. Jock down south. Hello, Jock down south. Jock down south. Listen, okay, I'm gonna pin this, and I'm gonna give you a little anecdote from. I'm gonna pin this, and I'm gonna give you a little anecdote. So, Jock down south is saying, Sean, your mum is correct. I've been around for nearly 7 decades, and I've never known it so bad. So listen. Jock down south. I have to laugh. I'm not laughing. In a nice way. So Jock down south is saying, actually, oh, who sent me a hat and mustache? Somebody sent me a hat and mustache then. Rummy, thank you so much. Rummy UK sent me a hat and mustache. Guys, thank you to all the gifters as well. Lots of people are gifting. Lex, Laurie C, Dave, Mike Edge, Jody Lee, Joe Masepo, Priv Caro, Nikki, Snowdrops, Priv Caro. Yeah, guys, thank you everyone for sending me the gifts. Snowdrops, I guess, send me a scarab. But yeah, guys, thank you so much. And Rummy UK for the hat and the mustache. So, Jock down south. Okay, so when I used to be in the military bay, in Dover, which is pretty much as close to down south. I don't think you can get much souther than that, especially in the United Kingdom. So when I was in B Company 1 Para. Now, anybody who was B Company 1 Para at that time will know that that was heavy. That was massively heavy with jocks, all right? So, like, I learned a lot of Scottish ways. And I can remember once walking, like, when you're a young private soldier, like 16 years old, you've got these, like, 24, 25, 26-year-old corporals, and they're like, here, you wee English prick. Here, get there and do that now. Aye, all right, you're going to do that now. Here, I tell you now, right, get up there right now. I'm not doing it. You're going to do it. Me, I did nothing, right? Here, airborne, come pick me up. I'm pissed. You see where I'm going with that, guys? But I can remember this one particular time, and I speak to it with an affinity, because I love Scottish people, and I do. I've got quite a lot of Scottish friends. I was walking back to the block one weekend, all right, and I could hear Braveheart playing from the middle floor. And you know when the Braveheart's playing, the Scottish, they're going to get really patriotic. They're going to try. You can imagine what it's like on a military camp, guys. There's no police. There's no laws on that. Like you can't phone the police on a military camp and say somebody's knocking my door in. I think they're going to do something. You just have to deal with it yourself. So I remember walking through, back to the thing. I don't know why this time. I just looked up. And honestly, guys, you know those glass ashtrays? There was one, almost at my head. I moved out of the way, it smashed on the floor. And then, there was a Scottish guy sat in the window going, aye, you're English. And he said a cuss word. But anyway, we love the Scottish. And Kate Storms is saying, freedom. Aye, we love the freedom. Oh, hang on, UK Veterans is saying Usk just won his fight. Was that today? God, I totally missed that. Hang on, guys, I'm gonna go sports commentator in a minute. Thank you for that, UK Veterans. Right, is he fighting? Oh, I've spelled it wrong. Usyk. Oh, well done to him, guys. Listen, a little bit of breaking news for you guys. I am a fight fan. Listen, guys, I am a fight fan. I'm not really into many sports. I do love men beating each other up. I do. I love it. I'm a bit of a fight fan. Live update. Usyk drops Dubai's in 5th round to retain surely. Undisputed heavyweight crowd. Latest reaction. Guys, listen, if you want to, guys, so Alexander Usyk, all right? Alexander Usyk, to me, like, you know what, not just to me, he is a perfect example of a Cossack. I mean, nobody can deny that. I love Cossacks. I've got a lot of Cossack friends. He's fantastic. I love going drinking with Cossacks, guys. I love going drinking. You know Sherlock Holmes, where Sherlock Holmes is like, do not drink with these people. Do not drink with these Cossacks. And then everybody starts dancing. Yeah, I love Cossacks, guys. They're my best friends. They really are. Usyk wins in 5. Dubois is trying his luck with the right hand. Usyk, however, takes this particular hit well on the gloves. The Ukrainian then lands a great left-right combination. The Briton goes on the attack, but walks into a great right and he falls to the canvas. He makes the count, but it's only for a moment, as Usyk then ends the fight with a fine left that Dubois feels, knocking his gum shield out in the process, and that is it. What a great performance and statement from the modern and all-time great. Yeah, guys, look, I mean, he's fantastic. I mean, he lives. So where we've got our place in Ukraine, he lives across the river. So yeah, he lives across the river from us. He lives across the river from us. Yeah, guys, listen, I think Usyk is great. He's a great. Usyk, I love boxing, guys. I do. I love the Tyson Fury. I love the Tyson Fury trilogy. I mean, guys, look, like when Tyson Fury got up, I mean, come on, guys, let's be real now, okay? When Tyson Fury got up after being knocked down by, by Deontay Wilder, how many roofs were still on in any pubs? It just sent the roof on fire. The roof was on fire. It was like, no, not today. Not today. I maybe beat him, but it ain't today. He got up. He then continued, and I would say he won that round. Then you had the second fight, and he won him well. But then, Dante was saying, "Oh, it was my walking. I had too much. My costume was too heavy. That's why you beat me." And then they had the third, guys. What a time to be alive with heavyweight boxing. But look, Alexander Usyk, for me, he's the right now, guys. He's the GOAT. Well done to Alexander Usyk for winning. He won in 5 rounds. Well done to him. Right, guys, listen, guys, listen, I do have to close this down on YouTube in a second. Sorry, not on YouTube, on TikTok, and then I'll be jumping over to YouTube. Right, Mark Hardman saying he's a top bloke. Yes, he is. So hang on, guys. So look, so when we talk about Ukrainians, like, Alexander Usyk he's like my Ukrainian friends. Like my Ukrainian friends are very much like Alexander Usyk. A lot of them descend from Cossacks. The guy Alexander Usyk's a Cossack. So I like that culture as a person. And Mark Hardman saying he's a top bloke. Yes, he deserves a win. Yes, 100% I agree. Bob Slay is saying, hang on, let me just do this. So listen, guys, this is gonna be wild. My answer to this is going to be wild, okay? So Bob Slay on TikTok is saying, Sean, do you think the white population will be non-existent in the UK in our lifetime? Well, first of all, it depends how old you are. I don't think it's going to be non-existent. I do believe, and I do, guys, and when I say these wild things, and then like a couple of months later, you start to think, maybe it's not that wild. I do think there is going to be a great white flight to Antarctica. Yep, bonkers, Sean, you're bonkers. What's in Antarctica? Trust me, ladies and gentlemen, you will see this start to happen, okay, guys? I think there's going to be a white flight to Antarctica. I do, guys. I think there's going to be a white flight to Antarctica. Anyway, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, I'm going to close this down now on. I'm going to close this down now on TikTok. I will be talking in a minute when we switch over to YouTube and X. I will be talking about the increase, the upscales in the sales of projectiles. Let's just say that the sales of projectiles in the United Kingdom. And I'm going to be telling you guys my honest opinion, where I think that's going, guys. Okay, where I think that's going, and what I would suggest as a security consultant. If you came to me and you said, Sean, as a security consultant, where would you put your money? And I'm going to be talking about that. Over on YouTube, guys. Obviously, for TikTok, I just can't talk about that, guys, because the algorithm will dilly swizzle me. I will get the live banned, and I will have a violation. But anyway, guys, for you guys on TikTok, I will see you guys in the morning. You're all fantastic. And I hope you've all liked and commented and subscribed and do all those things that help this channel grow. But listen, guys, just before we go, well done to Alexander Usyk for winning in 5. Well done, Alexander. I'll talk about the rest on YouTube, guys. But anyway, guys, listen, if you want to know my YouTube and my X, is exactly the same, guys. It's the Real Raven one. It's the same picture. Yeah, it's the Real Raven one. And if you want to look for it, the live stream is called UK Crossbow Sales Rocket Ex-Military Advice. So I did say to them over on YouTube I'd be over on around about an hour, but I'm 15 minutes late or something. But anyway, guys, I'll see you guys on TikTok later on. And for those of you who are going to jump over, I'll see you guys that are over. And let's close it. But well done, Alexander Usyk. And I think we're off. I think we're off, ladies and gentlemen. Yes, we are off, ladies and gentlemen. We are just live streaming now on YouTube and X. So, right, guys, how do we start on this? Well, it's Saturday night, so let me get a beer. Can I get a beer? Do you mind if I get a beer? Is that okay? Can I go get a carbonated one real quick? The fridge is only there. Hang on, I may have an update from America. America! Oh, hang on. Hang on, I might have to go and get my friend's wife from London. Right, let me get a cold one, guys. Let me get a cold fizzy one. Is that okay? Let me get a cold fizzy one from the fridge. Give me a second. Oh, by the beard of Zeus and Odin's eye, ladies and gentlemen, by the beard. Oh, so many comments. Right, ladies and gentlemen, right? Okay, the people in the United Kingdom are preparing. People are buying crossbows. People are buying pellet guns. People are buying bows and arrows. Look, guys, I think everybody should have a longbow, but not for protection purposes, just because if you're English, I think you should have a longbow. Anyway. Of course, where it is legal and safe to do so. But people are buying these things, guys, okay? And what people don't understand is, look, guys, I've been, and again, I've said this quite a few times, I've been a security consultant. I've done diplomatic security. I've been in charge of world leaders. I've been in charge of prime ministers. I've been in charge of prime ministers, I've been in charge of presidents, I've been in charge of all sorts of weird and wonderful people. And I've never once needed to use a firearm. We've always had them, but I've never once needed to use something that fires a projectile. The biggest and best thing that you can put your money in, guys, okay, is your vehicle. Now, hang on, guys, let me pull this. Now, we've been talking about this for a few times, guys. We've been talking about this. We have a bug out vehicle. We do, yeah. We have a bug out vehicle. It's not what you'd expect. It's not what it is expect. The bug out vehicle. I'll be quite honest with you guys. It's a. You know, I don't even know. I don't even know what year it is. It's a Suzuki. Hang on. That is perfect. It's a Suzuki Grand Vitara. You know, it's petrol. It's not got a flatbed. It's not got off-road wheels. It's not got half of the stuff that you would expect that preppers would have. But you've got to understand, ladies and gentlemen, we live in an island in the United Kingdom, okay? So any more than getting to any corner of that island, it's just going to be unuseful. And what I will always say is when people are spending their money on stuff, what is the aim of you spending that money? You know, if people are honestly, guys, look, let me be quite clear. Do not buy crossbows. Do not buy pellet guns as protection. If you want to buy them and you want to do target shooting, absolutely fine. If you're thinking about buying them for protection, guys, listen, it's a waste of money. What scenario are you going to use that as a person, as a pair? Like, it just doesn't work, guys, okay? It doesn't work. I would say, if you want to put your money into somewhere, let me have a look. Oh, thank you, Leanne Smith, for becoming a member. Well done. Thank you, Leanne Smith. Leanne Smith's become a member. Well done. Thank you very much. I hope you're going to be I hope you're going to be a long-standing contributor to this channel. I hope you've got some good input to give. And do you know what, guys? Thank you. Let's all give a round of applause to Leanne Smith. Thank you so much. So, when we're talking about, people wanting to buy crossbows and stuff, guys, it's just like, it's absurd. Like, just think about it, guys, all right? First of all, what scenario do you think that crossbow is going to provide you any security? It's not. Oh, that's good. You know, all those crossbows and stuff, all they're going to do is, they're going to be liabilities, okay? So, for me, excuse me, our bug out vehicle, I've put an extended fuel tank in it. It cost me I think it cost me like 300 quid to have an extended fuel tank. Now, the reason I've put an extended fuel tank in there is so I can go to the garage, I can go to the petrol station, and it is petrol, guys, it's not diesel. I'll explain that in a minute. So I can go to the petrol station, filling station. No, I can fill up in one hit, and I can drive then anywhere in the UK. I can drive there with about 10% reserve, with one fill up from the filling station. The reason I didn't go with diesel. Oh, Sean, diesel's 32.6% more fuel efficient. You should have gone with diesel. Yeah, all right, sweet cheeks. Right? You know when I do need to bug out. You know, if I need to bug out, that's going to mean that the military have taken over. That's going to mean that every drop of diesel goes to the military. Yeah, Sean, you know your petrol car, yeah, it's 30% less efficient. Yeah? Well, my car hasn't got any diesel because the military have taken it. Yeah? So who's got the most efficient car now? I don't have off-road vehicles. Do you know why? Sorry, off-road wheels. Do you know why? I'm going to want to make distance. I'm going to want to make distance from to wherever I'm going as quickly as possible. And off-road wheels don't help on the roads. And guys, most people are going to be driving on the roads. So when I chose I don't even know what year it is. I don't, guys. I don't even know what year it is. So when I chose a Suzuki Vitara, it's got relatively good comfort inside. It's got we've got literally the minimum space. For me, Sarah, 2 kids in the back and some luggage. That's all we need. That is literally all we need to get away. And that's going to be our main prepping tool to get us away from wherever we need to go. And I see these people all the time. You know, they've got these guys. Can you remember who was on the live stream earlier? Let me try and find a picture. In fact, let me try and find a picture of him here. Hang on, real quick. Let me try and find a picture. I bet there's a picture of him on This is going to be funny, guys. This is going to be funny. This is, do you know what? This is a really good example, actually. Bodyguard, Dover Beach. Oh, right, I'm getting Churchill. I'm getting all sorts of stuff. But guys, what I'm getting is, you guys, I don't know if any of you guys were on the live stream earlier, but we was watching the protest on Dover Beach. We was watching protest on Dover Beach, and there's this guy, the organizer. He's got like this red t-shirt on, and he had a bodyguard with him. Now, his bodyguard, he's got like a Viking haircut. All his hair's shaved. He's got like a top knot. It's like tied in a top knot there. He's got these wraparound sunglasses. He's ready. You know, he's got these like, I don't know, maybe with fingerless gloves on. Maybe he's just been to the gym. He's got these gloves on. He's got a green hoodie with his sleeves rolled up. You know, I was just thinking, right? Like, first of all, who is he? Who's that bodyguard? Like, because honestly, like I said, I've done security at the high, like I've done security, and apart from the President of the United States, I mean, apart from the US President, like I've not, I've pretty much done the highest level security, and I can say with 100% certainty, that's not how you turn up to a security detail. Anyway, what I'm saying is, if you're looking at that crowd and you're looking, you're thinking, right, who's the security there? You're like, yeah, him there. Like him right there. Him there. That's not what you want. So like, if you have to bug out somewhere, if you're in the United Kingdom and you're thinking about hibernate, relocate, evacuate, and you have to get somewhere, like from where we are, I know that we can get in our car, like right now, I know I can go get Sarah, get the kids, and we're like, yeah, we can go. We can go, well, I probably need to fill up because it's not filled up at the moment. But you see where I'm going, guys. We can go to anywhere in the United Kingdom right now in one trip. Me and Sarah can take it in turns driving, and we can get there. What you don't want to do is bring third-party attention to yourselves. So what you don't want to do is have like, I don't know, a flatbed, like a Toyota Hilux with the pickup truck. The pickup truck, you've got all this like stuff strapped to it and backpacks, and you're like, wow, where is he got? Because that sort of stuff is going to draw attention to yourself, and that sort of stuff's going to be, you're going to be a liability with that, guys. You really are, right? You need to blend in. You need to blend into the traffic. You need to evacuate with the civilian population. And I've done this myself, and I know this from myself, evacuating from, can I say it? Yeah. I know myself from evacuating from Ukraine. Evacuating from Ukraine with the refugees, nobody stops you. You go with the refugees and you're fine, nothing stops you. If you evacuate, in a packet with Land Rovers, you get stopped at every checkpoint. It's an absolute nightmare to get out, and it's a swizzle. So what I'm getting at here, guys, okay, all right, first and foremost, try and think about your relocation route, your relocation vehicle. How are you going to get from point A to point B? Doesn't really matter how many crossbows you've got and how quickly you can string and loose a bow. Doesn't matter how many times you've watched Lord of the Rings. Nobody is going to be like Legolas. Hang on, guys, let me jump back on here. Anyway, sorry, guys, I do digress. Leanne Smith is saying, I would stay put as my husband takes none of this seriously. We do live in a remote area. Right, okay. So let me just quickly, build on that, Leanne. So, yes. Okay, so, hang on. Yeah, so, there's so many trains of thought here, guys, okay? So when you're looking at the United Kingdom right now, nobody can say that we are not in the middle of something crazy. So if you think about hibernate, relocate, evacuate, when I say hibernate, relocate, I am really meaning like if you live in a big town and a big city, because those people, they're going to be the ones that may need to go straight to relocate. So Leanne Smith, does your family, like for example, where we live, everybody know, like our friends and family know that our house is the relocate location. We'll just let everybody come here. But like, is your house a relocate spot for your friends and family? Now, but there is the argument to bug in or bug out. Now, when people say bug out, that there's like this misconception, and I used to, guys, listen, I used to teach special forces survival. One of the things that always fascinated me was like watching the before and after realizations. So like when you go in like a real survival situation or like an exercise, you know, I used to let them fail all the time. I used to let them fail. By fail, I used to let them run out of water. I used to let them run out of food because you learn more. Now, so as a civilian, with none of this information, with none of this training, with none of this, education, some people really do think that they're going to be able to put a backpack on, go into the woods, and they're going to be good. They're going to be good because they've got 3 liters of water in the backpack. They've got some water purification tablets. They've got 6 packs of noodles and 3 cans of beans. It's not going to happen, guys. All right, you're gonna be there for like 3 days at the very max. Okay, the very max, you're going to be out there for 3 days, and then you're going to come back, and then you're still going to have the same problems. So what I like to teach is urban survival. If you live in the United, if you live in the United Kingdom, if you live in the United Kingdom, if you live in the United States, you are going to come up against something called, hang on, guys, my friend just messaged me back. Hang on, guys, hang on. Sorry. So if you live in the US or a built-up area or civil or somewhere that classes itself as a part of the civilized world, you know, the more likely scenario is that you're going to be in an urban survival scenario. What do I mean by urban survival? Look at Har Hills. Look at Epping. Look wherever there's so many different scenarios. And guys, look, personally, I don't care about the color of your skin. I care about, you know, your culture. You know, so wherever your cultures, wherever that culture clash is, that's where you're going to find these things. So, you know, you've got bug in, you've got bug out. I would say bug in is best, but equally, if you get to that stage where you're like, right, which would be hibernate, if you get to that stage where you're like, right, okay, bug in, that's not feasible anymore. I need to bug out, as in I need to relocate. And guys, look, okay, when people talk about bug, I don't know if you guys can remember, but we talk about 3 things, okay? We talk about hibernate, relocate, evacuate. So hibernate would be where you go back to your house, you bug in, all right? So you bug in, 3 days food, 3 days water. Imagine if you was in one of these places in Leeds, one of these places in London, one of these places in Birmingham, one of these places in Manchester, where ethnic divisions are strong, all right? It's going to be hard, guys. It's going to be hard. Like, can you imagine having to like run out the shop to go and get some sausages and a bottle of milk and some cornflakes? It's not going to be worth it. So that's what I talk about, guys. Okay, you need to have the stuff to bug in. At some point, if things keep going bad, and I think they will, guys, I really do, i.e. longer than 3 days, you're going to need to start thinking about relocating. And it's no good. You can't do it, guys. It's not going to work. It's not going to happen, right? When you're talking about relocating, you need to pre-identify a relocation area, guys, okay? You need to think about a relocation area. So that relocation area may be your mum, your dad, your auntie, your uncle, somebody who lives out in the countryside, maybe not even the countryside, maybe a semi-rural location, somewhere that people can go that's out the way, that's not going to have that mass, influx of people go in there. You see what I mean, guys? Okay, because I do think this summer we're going to see a mass concentration of hostilities in and around the built-up cities and the built-up areas. I hope I answered that question, Leanne. I hope I answered that question. Freddie is saying, did he have a stab vest on or something? Yeah, he had like I don't know if it was a stab vest or I don't know if it was like grade Mark III body armor, but he certainly had something on. He was wearing like some sort of body armor or something. We're talking about the bodyguard now that was in on Dover Beach. Oh, that is good, guys. That is good. Matt is saying YouTube ads, lol. Guys, look, I've got no input on the YouTube ads. I can't turn them off. It swings and roundabouts, you know. TikTok, they don't have ads, but they massively censor what I say. They massively censor your comments. So, you know, it just is what it is, guys. It is what it is. Oh, hang on. Oh, so here's a good question, actually. Jane Taylor is saying, who here, just as reference, people would be able to bug out or would be able to stay put? So here I think we've got the bug out or bug in thing that people are talking about. And every situation is going to be different, guys, okay? It's going to be different, like for example, if I lived near the Har Hills estate or region in Leeds, I wouldn't even bother with hibernate, which would be bug in. I'd be just like, right, it's going to kick off. I'm going straight to my secondary location because that is where I feel safest. And, you know, every scenario is going to be different. Everybody's going to be different. There's going to be so many different factors, you know, affecting, affecting X, Y, and Z. D. Marie Gen X is saying, I don't need a crossbow. You want to see my 7-year-old after a bog of Skittles? He could man any fort. Well, there you go, guys. Maybe we just need bags of Skittles. Maybe we don't need projectiles. Maybe we just need bags of Skittles. Jane Taylor is saying, so if you can't drive or afford a car, yeah, guys, listen, if you're in that scenario where, you know, and again, listen, I do try to cater to everyone, you know, bug in may be the only scenario. And if you have to bug in, guys, what you've got to remember is a few things. Nobody is going to be coming for you direct. It's just not going to happen, guys, okay? People will not be coming for you direct unless you're being targeted for X, Y, and Z, I don't know. So what I would do if I had to bug in, I'll give you a scenario. Everyone's going to, but Jane Taylor, if you can ask me more specific questions, I can answer them. But let's just say I lived on a terraced house on a street, and that street was heavily overrun. What I would do, I would make sure I had enough food, water. Do you know what? Maybe just water, because you'd be surprised how long you can go without food. And you know what, guys? I fast. I didn't do it this week. I try and fast every Friday, and when you wake up the next day, you just feel fresh and ready and clean. But make sure you've got enough water. So make sure you've got enough stuff upstairs. And what I would do is I would close all the curtains downstairs. I'd lock the door. I'd do as much security downstairs as I could. And I would just go upstairs. And I would say that 9 times out of 10, those protests, they're not going to be targeting you specifically. And if people don't see you moving, if they don't see lights on, they're not going to really be wanting to push into where you live, and I do think that's your best case for personal security. Matt is saying, "Oh, hang on, I'll do Robert Bird first." Robert Bird is saying, "Relocate to Cornwall. It's beautiful down here. It's amazing down here." Leanne Smith is saying, brilliant, thank you. Oh, Leanne Smith, I hope you're getting, I really do hope you're getting, I really do hope you're getting something from this, because I try and give that whatever experience I have, whatever knowledge I have, I give this out, I give this out to you guys as much as I can. Jane Taylor is saying, those buying stuff, do they see it as purge situation, zombie time, if you have no relocate option? Okay, so we need to be clear what the likely scenario is in the United Kingdom. So right, let's rewind. So the most likely worst case scenario. Now, I know that doesn't make sense, but it kind of does. So for me, the most likely worst case scenario is what you've got to prepare for. Yes, of course, you know, worst case scenario would be aliens land and they drop a load of zombies off, and you know those zombies are multiplying, and you see where I'm going, guys. Okay, but worst case, most likely scenario in the United Kingdom is you're in a location wherever you live, and that location is overrun by rioters, protesters, whatever, for like 3 days. I don't think it's gonna happen for any longer than 3 days, guys. I really don't. Before the police, before the military manage to take control again. If that happens and you're in there for 3 days, guys, okay, you've got nowhere else to go. You need to hibernate, and being able to hibernate means I would always go upstairs, guys. I would go upstairs because people's eye level is not at the top; it's at the bottom. It's, you know, so you don't want to let people know you're there. 9 times out of 10, guys, you know, people are going to walk past you. Matt is saying, I've got both options ticked, I think. I have plans and ideas, but I guess I won't know until it happens. Yeah. And look, guys, again, going back to what my mum was talking about, like, you know, going back to what my mum was talking about last. Look, guys, let me give you guys an update on my mum. I've got quite a few people watching now that don't usually watch. So, back in 2022, all right, Putin's 2022 invasion of Ukraine, because the invasion of Ukraine actually happened in 2014. 2022 invasion of Ukraine. My mum, she phoned me up. Just contextualize this, guys, right? I'm sat in my office, right? I've got like 2 laptops open, a PC, so I've got 4 screens open. I've probably got 3 phones going with like WhatsApp, Signal, WikiMe, all sorts of people trying to get in touch with me, trying to sort things out. I've got people in Canada, people in California, people in Texas, people in Australia. Massive time differences. My head was like, whoo! I was trying to deal with a load of stuff. My mum phones me up. She's like, Sean, can you open the gate? We've got like our driveway is probably like, I don't know, like 50, 60, 70 feet. And we've got like a big gate at the end. It's like a nondescript gate, but it's mechanical. It's not mechanical. It's manual. So it's not electric. So you have to go, because electric can be hacked. So I have to go down. I have to take the bar off. I have to unlock it. I have to take the chain off. You know, I have to open it up, then close it, put them things back on. Anyway, my mum was standing there at the bottom. She's crying. All the makeup's smeared. What's wrong, Mum? She's like, Sean, can me and Millie, her dog, she's got like a Velociraptor or something. She's like, Sean, can we come here if Putin drops the bombs? I'm like, right, mother, right. What you got in the bags? First of all, I was like, what you got in the bags, Mum? She had 1 bag. For those of you being regulars on this channel, you know exactly what I'm going to say. She's got 1 bag, my mum. She's got 1 bag full of, it was UHT milk and tea bags, right? And the other bag was full of chunky soup from Aldi. I said, what you got in there? She goes, can't I give these in case we need to come? I said, what are you on about? She says, in case the bombs drop. Because my mum was like, really, honestly, but this is kind of like the reasons we started these channels, because a lot of people don't understand the processes and the reasoning and the politicization of these things. But anyway, I calmed my mum down. I got her a cup of tea. I said, look, Mum, that's not going to happen. You know, it's not going to happen because X, Y, and Z. But moving on from that, sorry, okay. You know, bug in or bug out is here in the United Kingdom, guys, okay. Quite a few people have been saying this to me. You know, what's going to happen to the United Kingdom? And building on from what I just said about my mum, she was scared about the missiles coming over. The real threat to the United Kingdom, guys, is not from like Russian troops coming over on like boats or whatever. Although if they come over in rubber dinghies, they'll be fine. the threat is from sabotage from the United Kingdom, guys. It's the internal threat from sabotage. It's the internal threat from people who are in this country already who do not identify as British. That's the real threat, guys. And we've been letting these people in for such a long time, guys. It is wild. We are so close to swizzling. But yeah, as Matt's saying here, guys, okay, whether you hibernate, relocate, or evacuate, all those scenarios, all those different aspects, they're all going to be down to individual circumstances. Like, who was it? Somebody said earlier, I can't remember who it was. Oh yeah, so Robert Bird is saying move down to Cornwall. It's amazing. So if Robert Bird is in Cornwall, and I'm just assuming from what he said, I've got no inside information on this, but Robert Bird is saying everything's fine in Cornwall. So if you live in Cornwall, maybe thinking about hibernate and relocate, maybe they're like ridiculous, and you're just like, yeah, I'm just going to continue as normal. But if you live in the north of England, you would be thinking, yeah, I may need to go straight to relocate. Oh, Leanne Smith is saying, yes, you're amazing. Thank you so much, Leanne Smith. And do you know what, Leanne Smith? You are amazing as well. Freddie is saying, please read the article. What article, Freddie? What article do I need to read? Freddie? I'm just jumping up to find... I can't. 5 billion black hole is the overspending of labor. Is that what we're talking about? Oh, right. Okay. Right. Freddie, is this what you're talking about? Rachel Reeves is a fraud. She's going to use police seized cryptocurrency to use for the so-called black hole. Right. Let me just Google this real quick, guys, and I'll try and see what we're talking about here. Listen, guys, sometimes, I don't know everything. I don't know everything. If it's military, tactics, Eastern Europe, the Middle East, I'm all over that stuff, guys. I'm all over that. But sometimes I do need to Google things and give you my real-time opinion. I've just Googled Rachel Reeves crypto. I've got nothing. I have got nothing, ladies and gentlemen. I've got nothing. Mr. No, we are not triple streaming, Mr. We are double streaming because we've been talking about the uptick in crossbows being sold in the United Kingdom. So, hang on. Right, okay, I've got it. Hang on, guys. Oh, whoa. Okay, hang on. Give me a second, guys. Oh, where did I just go? What just happened? Give me a second, guys. I'm trying to give you real time. Oh. Right, okay, Googly, I've got it. Right, okay, Freddie, sorry. Right, ladies and gentlemen, so from GB News, Rachel Reeves set to sell 5 billion in seized Bitcoin in bid to plug black hole in budget. What does that even mean? Bitcoin has doubled its value since this point last year and could be the silver bullet needed to fill the Chancellor's black hole. So to me, this is just theft. This is just theft, guys. So to me, this is just theft. Rachel Reeves could be preparing to sell billions of pounds worth of. How do you seize cryptocurrency? Like, how can you seize cryptocurrency? I don't even know what that means. Rachel Reeves could be preparing to. What's just happened? My computer's gone swizzled. Why did that happen? Oh, right, whatever. Rachel. Right, my computer is just going ridiculous at the moment. It's just flashing. Is he going to go off again? Are you going to go off again? Are we going to be a knobhead? Yeah, it's just doing what it wants. It's just turning itself off. Yeah, so my computer just turned itself off, guys, for some reason. Don't know why. Don't know why. Anyway, I'm just going to go with it because my computer's decided to turn itself off. So Rachel Reeves is preparing to allegedly sell £5 billion worth of confiscated cryptocurrency. Now, I don't even know how that works, guys, because I don't think, how can you confiscate cryptocurrency? Because cryptocurrency is part of a blockchain, and that blockchain is specific to a person, and that person, I don't know how it works, guys. I don't know how it works, but it just anyway, I smell a rat, that's all I'm saying. Right, I'm going to jump down, guys. Stacey Harris is saying all these adverts cost race and betting pay to play them. I don't know what that means. Stacey Hart, sorry, not Harris. Stacey Hart, I don't know what that means. I don't know what that means, but if you can elaborate, I'll elaborate more. Robert Bird is saying, seize the cold store wallets and transfer it. Guys, listen, okay, I'll be quite clear. I don't trust this Bitcoin e-currency, e-world. You know, I'm a little bit old-fashioned. I think if you want to put your money in something, put it in real stuff, real money, real time, real products, real people. I don't know, guys. You know, there's these meme coins and that, and I've had a little dibble dabble with it. I've had a little dibble dabble with it. I ended up, I think I ended up like a couple of grand up, but you know, it is what it is. You know, I ended up a couple of grand up. I know a lot of people ended up a lot of grand less. So for me, it's been a positive thing, but I can see how people can lose a lot of money in these things, and they're very volatile. So I would always steer away from like this online stuff. You know, these meme coins and that. Freddie is saying Reeves is out of options. Brace for 6 more tax raids early July. Guys, look. In fact, let me replace that. Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, do you think I've ever done this with a pistol? Do you think I've ever done this with a pistol like loads of times? So remember last year? Go back to my TikTok, because I was doing videos just on TikTok then. Go back to my TikTok, right? Look at, like, it'll be a swizzle for you to scroll back. I mean, I know what I'm wearing. I've got an orange shirt on, an orange check shirt, and I'm saying, ladies and gentlemen, I was saying these things last year. This pretty much, in fact, it was August last year, so like 11 months ago. 11 months ago, I was saying. 11 months ago, I was saying, guys, summer next year, we're going to have more people unemployed, looking for less jobs, because right now the jobs market's being destroyed. More people are unemployed, less jobs to employ them, more taxes. This is why I was saying the summer of carnage is coming. This is why I was saying the direction of travel that we're heading. And people can, you know, people can understand this, and people can see these things coming. And, you know, right now, we can see the things that I was saying last year. So when I'm saying now, guys, like wild stuff, like, well, you know what, this thing doesn't even seem that wild. But when I'm saying things like, you know, we're heading to a global conflict of an industrial scale, that kind of doesn't seem as wild anymore, does it? When I say wild things like, I'm seeing a tangible road forwards that the United States takes control of England, Ireland, Scotland, Wales, and Northern Ireland. There we go, guys. I'm saying that. You know, when I'm saying things like, I see an actual likelihood that there's going to be a white flight to Antarctica. Guys, listen, I do see these things happening. And also, if you want to go even like a little bit more wild, I don't know how wild you want to get, guys. How do we want to go aliens? Are we going aliens, guys? I've had 2 beers. Are we going aliens? I'm happy to go aliens if you want to go aliens. But yeah, taxes are coming, guys. Taxes are coming. Taxes are coming. It's inevitable. Take someone's hard drive. I don't know what that means. Right, guys, let me open these things up back again because my Google Chrome just shut down for some ridiculous reason, and I'm gonna open it back up. I think it's because I've got too many windows open. So Google, Freddie is saying supermarket bosses attack Reeves' plan for fresh tax raid. Guys, look, let's just be clear, right? Tax raids only hurt the poorest. They only hurt the poorest in our society every time. One of my business mentors, he once said to me, he says, Sean, rich people don't pay for things. And I was like, no, rich people do pay for, but guys, look, that is the reality. Rich people do not pay for things. What do I mean by that? Well, if you're rich, you will move your money to a place where you're not going to get taxed. You're going to move your money oh, hang on, I'm seeing Dubai getting knocked out. Give me a second, guys. Right, hang on, I want to get this up. Give me a second, guys. I want to share this with you. Oh, wrong page, wrong. Right, we're going to watch a boxing match, guys. We are watching a boxing match. I don't care. We're watching a boxing match. Let me just get this up, guys, on the screen. I'll share it with you. Give me a second. We're watching a boxing match. I am a fight fan, ladies and gentlemen. I am a fight fan. I love men beating each other up. I do. I'm a fight fan. Whether they're wearing gloves, pads, whatever, I enjoy watching men beat each other up. Right, where are we? Hang on a minute. You guys need to see this. So Jake Paul has jumped in and he's squaring up against Alexander Usyk. That's embarrassing. That is embarrassing. Embarrassing. Alexander Usyk just faced off with Jake Paul. I mean, honestly, Jake Paul, I'd knock him out. Right, so let me get this. Hang on, guys. I'm going to share this with you. I'm going to share this with you, ladies and gentlemen. Why? Because I love watching a scrap, guys. I love scraps. So let's make this.
The dream is over at Wembley. And there's not long left.
He is a king. He is a king. He literally is.
The gunshot went out. There was no way Dubois was getting up from that. The dream is over at Wembley. But Alexander Usyk, 1, 2, 3, and there's tears of emotion because he's done that for Ukraine and he's done it for the world. And there's not long left.
He is a king. He is a king. He literally is.
The gunshot went out. There was no way Dubois was getting up from that. The dream is over at Wembley. But Alexander Usyk, 1, 2, 3, and there's tears of emotion because he's done that for Ukraine and he's done it for the world. And there's not long left.
He is a king. He is a king. He literally.
Yeah, I mean that was an instinctive shot, wasn't it, guys? I know we're jumping off topic, guys. I know we're jumping off topic. That was an instinctive shot. You as Alexander Usyk there. That was an instinctive shot. You can't get taught that. That was literally instincts. Yeah, he's moved that way, and I'm hitting him that way. Brilliant, guys. Brilliant from Usyk. Luke Jacobs said, I'd pay to see you in the ring with Jake or Logan Paul. Well, listen, I would be happy to do both. I'd be happy to do both on the same night, as long as they both had steroid tests, you know. Not so much Jake. I think he's just fat. Jake's just fat, isn't he? He's like a fat guy, and he's fighting deadbeats, with his rules. I mean, have you watched the Tyson fight? Like Mike Tyson I think Mike Tyson's like almost 60 or something. Like Mike Tyson, a lot of the times has to pull back his punches. So I'm looking at this and I'm thinking, right, somewhere in Mike Tyson's contract, it said that, right, Mike, you're tied into this contract. It's going to be an exhibition fight. Nobody's going to knock each other out. Nobody's going to do this. Mike, if you do this, there's going to be this much penalties, yada, yada, yada. But if there's not, you're going to earn this much money. I think that's what the Mike Tyson fight was. You know, I think it was fake. But look, you know, as far as I'm concerned, you know, council estate rules count. Yeah, Mr. Usyk is pure class. He is, guys. Usyk is absolutely fantastic. I'm just watching it here, guys. You know, his knockout, like the way he moves instinctively to Du Bois. I don't even know how he pronounces it. Daniel Du Bois. It's fantastic. It is just brilliant. I mean, you can't, like, what Usyk's got. You can't get taught that. It doesn't matter how many hours of boxing training you've got. What Usyk's got is it's natural ability. It's natural ability and it's natural instincts. And it's those instincts that you can't get taught. Like when I was in the military, you struck quite a few people. And people that you either have those instincts where you know when to drive forward, you know when to push, you know when to kick, you know when to elbow, you know when to hit, you know when to knee, or you don't. You can't get taught that sort of stuff. And Usyk, 100% right now, he is absolutely on fire. So, you know, hats off to Usyk, guys. Hats off to Usyk. And I bet Usyk doesn't have to worry about a crossbow. Right, anyway, listen, guys, it's been fun. It's been great hanging out with you guys tonight, but I'm going to have to close this off now because I am gagging for a wee-wee. I'm going to close this down now. We've been on over an hour. Listen, guys, I am going to... Oh, hang on. Mr. He's saying you can't do anything with him. He's like a slippery fish. Yeah, guys, listen, Usyk's fantastic. You know, not only is he fantastic, but he's a brilliant poster boy for Cossacks. I love Cossacks. I've got a lot of friends who are Cossacks. Who do the dance. Hey. Do not drink with the Cossack, ladies and gentlemen. Do not drink with the Cossack. It's not worth it. Just say no. Say no. Do not drink with the Cossack. Leave that to the Raven. I'll try as best as I can to represent the British Empire drinking with the Cossacks. But unfortunately, guys, sometimes I do slip behind. One time I was drinking with the Cossacks. I'll let you guys know this. All right. One time I was drinking with Cossacks. All right. The last thing I can remember was biting a fish head and feeling its skull crunch in my mouth, all right? Somebody hit me from the side. I was knocked out. I then woke up. I had 2 ticks in my body and a Makarov pistol laid by my side. Just going to leave it there. I'm going to leave it there. I'll let you guys fill in the blanks. Anyway, guys, listen, I'm going to tap out now. You guys have been absolutely fantastic, as always. I'm going to close it down now. I'll be back on tomorrow, I hope. Good luck to Alexander Usyk, guys. Good luck to Alexander Usyk and all the rest of the Cossacks, guys, okay? Yeah, I'll see you guys later. If you're listening to this, you are the resistance.